All right, guys, welcome back to this week's series of the week. We're going to be highlighting the Tigers versus Blue Jays series that's happening starting Thursday. Just two great teams, both fighting for the one seed in the AL race right now. Tigers have that lead slightly, only 0.5 games ahead of the Blue Jays. Just to start, let's just break down the pitching matchups. We know Screwball is going to be on the mound for the Tigers, and what has impressed you guys the most with his performance so far this year?
Ethan, lead us off. I think it's just the ability to be consistent all year. It's really key for a team to know what they're getting when they throw out a guy for 5 to 7 innings. And I feel like if you have a pitcher that you can rely on, it really frees up the bats more than when you have a pitcher giving up 7 runs a game.
Screwball has a 10-3 win-loss record. That's pretty insane right now with a 2.19 ERA with 164 strikeouts. From what I've seen, he's the best pitcher basically in baseball. Nobody's better than him right now. And so for the Tigers to have that kind of weapon on the team, it's huge for a team come October.
Yeah, I'm most impressed with the fact that he's been able to do it in back-to-back seasons. It's one thing to be great than good in back-to-back seasons. It's another thing to be elite in back-to-back seasons. I was kind of surprised by it, just considering the way his season ended. I was actually at the Guardians-Tigers game, and he just had a rough outing that day. And most pitchers you see that kind of rocks their boat a little bit, but Screwball hasn't let that affect him. And in fact, he honestly might be better this year than he was last year. And it's kind of hard to believe.
Yeah, I'd just like to say it's a 4-game series, and the highest ERA of the starting pitchers is a 4.7, so it's going to be a defensive battle here, and it's just really going to be whoever can break open the game.
Yeah, that kind of leads me into the next question. Do you guys think the Blue Jays offense is capable of breaking open games? And that's what they're going to need to do, but they do have to go up against great pitchers like Screwball and the rest of that elite Tigers pitching staff. So do you guys think that the Blue Jays can pull it off?
I think if there's an offense that can do it, one of them is going to be the Blue Jays. You have long-time great hitters like Bo Bichette, Vlad, and George Springer. And not to mention Alejandro Kirk is batting .309 as a catcher. That's insane for a team. I know we see guys like Cal hit well, but if you can get a catcher that can play good defense and hit well, it's a gem. So I think if you get the 4 guys I mentioned and then you sprinkle in a few guys, this is the team that can really open up the Tigers.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have much more to add on to what Ethan said. He kind of touched it all for the Blue Jays. The Blue Jays had the experience offensively to go into a series where the team they're facing has a really good pitching staff, and they have the experience that they've seen it all, and they can open up games in their favor.
Yeah, I kind of want to go to the opposition side and talk about the Tigers bats as well. They're one of the coldest teams in baseball right now. I believe they're 3-7 in the last 10 games. They just lost to the Tigers 3-0. Mind you, they did have Skeens on the mound, but still, as the best team in the AL, you should be able to put up a run against anybody's ace, and that's what you're going to have to do if you want to do good in October. But at the beginning of the season, or even right before the All-Star break, I would have told you guys this isn't even a close series. But with the Tigers' recent struggles, and then you add on the Blue Jays' recent success, I don't know how well these Tigers bats are going to do. I think it's going to be interesting to see, but I don't really think that this is going to go too well in the Tigers' favor.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the depth chart here, nothing screams out good hitter other than really Gleyber Torres. Javi, I know they've got Javi, but he's kind of been on a decline the last couple of years. There's just not many hot bats right now. So if the Tigers can some way figure out how to just get base hits and get guys on, I think that would be huge for them. But I just don't see them being able to that successfully.
A guy you forgot to mention was Riley Green. Leads the team in home runs, RBIs, and hits. So I think, kind of like I said with the Blue Jays, if you can just get some guys to step up a little bit, kind of lean the team, and then get one hit from the bottom of your lineup, that's all you need.
For sure, and you're going to need that headed into October. And this matchup is kind of a preview to what we'll see in October with them both being in the AL, both at the top of the AL. But guys, what is at stake in this matchup? Obviously, the one seed in the AL is, but beyond that, what do we got?
I think it's momentum. One of the first couple series out of the All-Star game is huge for teams when you're trying to clinch the number one spot in your league and division. And so if either team can solidify themselves in this series, I think it'd be huge for them and make their life really easy come down the stretch.
Yeah, like you said at the beginning, they're fighting for the one spot in the American League. 4-game series, if you can win it, gets a big jump on the opponent and really propels you for the rest of the season.
Yeah, I want to say the pressure's completely on the Tigers here. Like I mentioned before, we have two teams on the opposite end of the spectrum headed into this game or series, might I say. Tigers are struggling, Blue Jays are doing well. But like Alexander said, it is all about momentum. I do believe whoever wins this series is going to go on and kind of separate themselves from the rest of the American League in this race headed down to October. I'm hoping it's the Blue Jays. Being an AL Central guy myself, I don't want to see the Tigers do well, but I do think that the Tigers have more of an ability and more talent to chase the Blue Jays than the Blue Jays would, just because Tigers got off to this great start, and if they can do it once, they can do it again. So that's what I think's at stake. Last thing I want to add is just who you guys think is going to win this series?
I believe it's a 4-game series. I think it's going to go split 2-2.
I would agree, but if I had to pick somebody to win, I think it's got to be the Tigers.
I would agree with you guys on the 2-2, but unlike Ethan, I think the Blue Jays are going to win if somebody's going to have to win the series. I just think that it's going to be hard for the Tigers to come out of the slump that they're in and have to face this great team in the Blue Jays and be able to win 3 out of the 4 games. But hey, it's baseball, and who knows? But that's what we have, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure you guys let us know who you think's winning this series of the week, and give us some recommendations for next week's series of the week. We'll take any and all recommendations, and we appreciate all your guys' support. Thanks for watching. Peace.